Hey, what's up guys, welcome to this video where we're going to be taking a look at the last 10 players that Sir Alex Ferguson signed and seeing where their cards are now within FIFA. We'll have a look at their original card and we'll have a look at their current card and see how they have fared since that initial signing. So we kick off with the 10th signing in the final reign of Sir Alex Ferguson, and that is Anders Lindegaard, who came in at £3.5 million from Ailsund, I think is sort of how you pronounce it, and he came in on FIFA as a 74 rated silver. Pretty terrible stats, to be honest, and it's not really got much better. He obviously was brought in to challenge David De Gea and to really provide some good cover, which to an extent he did. He went on to West Brom and a few other decent clubs afterwards, but is now back a bit closer to home with Helsingborg's IF. So the ninth signing in this list is Phil Jones, who obviously is still at the club. He cost a whopping £16.5 million, which is absolutely ridiculous in 2011. That was a lot of money then. Still a decent amount of money now, of course. And as you can see, he came in with a relatively decent card overall at 76, showing a lot of promise, one for the future. That was what people thought. And to be honest, it has not really panned out that way for Jones. He's won a fair few trophies along the way, but in reality he's never held down a mainstay in the United team and has always just been a bit of a backup player. Bought from Blackburn Rovers, still at Man United and still likely to stay there for a few years by the looks. Next up now, a more successful signing from a similar period, also actually from 2011, is Ashley Young, who cost Sir Alex Ferguson 17 million from Aston Villa. And as you can see, his first United card was incredibly impressive. 85 rated, left wing, really good card with tons of pace, fantastic dribbling and some decent-ish shooting stats. Nowadays, not looking quite as attractive. Also moved into the right back slot, which is kind of interesting. Definitely plays fullback a lot, both on the right back and left back situations. He actually has been a pretty good servant for Man United. He's popped up with some good goals, won a fair few trophies, and actually has been pretty consistent, transitioning as he has slowed down into that defensive role and actually doing a pretty good job. So actually one of the transfers within this list that Alex Ferguson can really pin his hat on and actually say was a pretty decent bit of money. Another one very similar is David De Gea. Now, he had a ropey start when he came from Atletico Madrid in 2011 and a really whopping price tag of 19 million. Again, very expensive for that time. Maybe doesn't seem quite as expensive now with lots of lower sort of Premiership clubs spending that much on players, but 19 million was a healthy investment back then. And as you can see, he came in with a pretty solid rating at 80 overall with some very good stats, and now he really has blossomed into an incredible United player, although maybe this season not having the best of it, but overall his spell at United will definitely be looked back on as a very successful one and what really did make his career. He is a fantastic goalkeeper, 89 rated currently in FIFA, so he has whacked on 9 levels to where he started off and really has developed into a very promising player that is worth a ton more than what was initially paid by Sir Alex Ferguson. We move on now to Shinji Kagawa, who came in from Dortmund with an 84 rated card. Really OP. I actually used this card quite a lot and I loved this guy. He was a very good player and actually did okay for United in spells. He had some good games, maybe didn't quite live up to the 12 million price tag when he was brought in from Dortmund, but still did alright. The only thing was he couldn't quite nail it down. He showed glimpses now and then of that incredible talent that he did possess, ultimately flicking between both playing for United and then going on loan to various clubs, including going back to Dortmund. He is now very much in the twilight of his career, as you can see there, not only by the rating but also by the lack of hair. Almost looks unrecognisable from Kagawa. I actually had to do a double take myself, but he is playing still at a very high level for Real Zaragoza, still playing in the same position and still a pretty useful card with very impressive dribbling. Now we move on to what was a very promising signing and actually showed some early glimpses in a few cup matches and a few Premier League matches for United, which was Nick Powell. A lot expected of this guy with good pace, a decent range of passing and just some overall really good play that was coming from this guy. He did cost £6 million from Crew Alexander and was definitely one for the future that Man United hoped they could develop into a top player. It didn't really work out, although he has actually been a pretty solid player at championship level, representing a fair few clubs. Currently now residing at Stoke City with a 72 rated cam card, which proves that he is actually still a very useful player and a really good player for that level. Just didn't quite live up to it at United and that £6 million price tag. Now we move on to another very successful Sir Alex Ferguson signing, one that really did swing the favour back in United's way, where they bought in Robin van Persie from Arsenal for a cost of 24 million. But what an assured signing this was. He was guaranteed goals. The only thing that was always a concern with Van Persie was his injury proneness, but he actually managed to really hold it together with Man United and had a fantastic debut season, winning the Premier League, claiming Man United's 20th title, which is a very impressive stat. He has been a fantastic player, no longer currently in the game as he has retired. He retired last year, as you can see with his card in FIFA 19, where he did finish up with an end of an era card and had a fantastic time at Feyenoord when he moved back, even ending up with a team of the season card, which was slightly higher rated than this end of the era card also. A striker now that you probably have not heard of, unless you are a really hardcore Man United fan, is Ghetto Enriquez. Someone, again, I had not heard of at all. An undisclosed fee from Universidad de Chile, a team that aren't really very famous, and also a player that really did not deliver. So you're probably well in your right to have not heard of this guy. And he obviously hasn't done anything since, because he's moved from a 72 rated card at United, where he has moved to a 71 rated striker card for Deportes Nuna in Chile. So he's moved back home, again probably more famous in Chile than anywhere else, but his stint at United definitely didn't leave anything worth remembering. So our penultimate player that Sir Alex Ferguson signed was Alexander Butner, a player that actually did play a fair few times for United and definitely did show some early signs of being quite a promising left back. Very quick, decent defence, also pretty good going forward with some decent dribbling. He has held on to that dribbling and still not too shabby, although he is coming towards the end of his career. Now back at Vitesse Arnhem, who he signed from originally for an undisclosed fee. Still, you know, a pretty solid card, actually has gone up in rating, so he has had a pretty distinguished career, although not really full of highlights. Now our final Sir Alex Ferguson signing comes in the form of Wilfried Zaha. The well-documented Zaha transfer was obviously not the best timed, obviously with Zaha joining just as Alex Ferguson was departing. I do think had Sir Alex had more time with Zaha, he probably would have been an absolutely fantastic player for United and one that would have really kicked them on. As you can see with his performances for Crystal Palace, that he has been a really solid player. Very good in the Premier League, and one that really does carry the team forward with his incredible pace, fantastic dribbling and really solid shooting. He has gone from then being a 72 rated right winger, silver card, now all the way playing down the middle but also playing on the left in real life, but a centre forward in this game, 83 rated with some very overpowered stats, and a card that a lot of people really did use early on in FIFA. So I hope you really did enjoy this video, looking at the last 10 signings that Sir Alex Ferguson made and seeing where they are now in FIFA. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for more content like this, and peace.